Are you excited for the future?
Yes.
Yes.
We both applied to DTS. We didn't know each other at all. Anna and Sarah Elliott made a little get-together for all the people from the Springs here that were going to the DTS in New Zealand. And so I went to go hang out. I was planning on just hanging out for maybe half an hour, an hour. I had a lot of stuff to do before I left, and went to Anna's house and was officially introduced, and then ended up staying for the whole afternoon and hanging out, playing Dutch Blitz and just talking.
One of my friends had told me about this guy that worked at Lifetime who was going on the DTS in New Zealand, and I kind of just thought, he's probably a dweeb, don't worry about it. And then when I met him, you know, he came over to my house like he was saying, and just it was scary because he was cute and I wasn't prepared.
It was weird. It was like I was just going to be there for a little while and then I couldn't leave. I just ended up staying for most of the afternoon. We ended up having the same flight down to New Zealand together, and we were able to work it out so that Anna, Sarah, and I were all sitting next to each other on the flight. When we got to New Zealand, we figured out that Anna and I were going to be on the ship with just about 25 other students. So it was a really tight-knit, close group of people, really small kind of living quarters and stuff like that. At first, really hard to adjust to that, but it turned out to be a huge blessing. We spent every day together, really developing a rich friendship through that time.
It took me about 2 weeks to really admit it before myself and before God, and the very first day that I really asked Him about it, I got a really quick response that day from the Lord, and it was very clear, very out of the blue, just very, yeah, it was a confirmation. So from that point on, I had to keep it secret in my heart that I really loved James. So that was very hard, and the process was really painful because I didn't always know where he was at, and we were best friends, but I knew that I had something more. But in that season, I was able to really press in to what the Lord was saying about the situation and what His opinion was and how He thought that I should handle what felt like rejection or whatever it may be. And so that was a hard process. But then after DTS is when we started dating, and that was great.
Make my mind free from fear.
Really hard to pin down an exact time where I knew that I knew that I knew. There were so many little moments that, you know, her talking about her love for the mountains or her love for, you know, just being outside. She just kept confirming them along the way by just being who she was. For me, when I asked her into a relationship, I was really confident that it was moving towards marriage.
Hallelujah.
We waited till we went down to the South Island of New Zealand. We waited till we were out of the school with all the people around, where it was a little bit more private, a little bit more personal. And then finally I was able to ask her out, and she said yes. When Anna and I entered into a relationship, we were in New Zealand, as I mentioned, and then we came back to the States, but only for about 10 days back in the States together before I left again to go back to Vanuatu with a couple other guys from the DTS. And so we were only actually dating for about 2 weeks before we went long distance. I was in Vanuatu for several months before coming back to the States, and that was, I think, a really big test for both of us and a really important time of development in our relationship. You're forced to really get deep and get intentional and get real in the things you're talking about and in the way you're treating each other and the direction that you're heading, and it definitely went that way for the two of us. It really, I think, took it to the next level. As I fell more in love with Anna, I really felt like the Lord was leading me to come home.
The things that I've dreamed about since I was 14, just my heart's longings and my heart's desire is for Him and all that He is. And so to pursue the Lord with Him and to hike with Him and to cry to him. And I don't know, it's exciting. It's exciting.
We're excited to build a life together.
We're excited to build a life together.
Hallelujah.